Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to this review on this alternate channel, Anti-War, of Carlo Rossi White Zinfandel. Yeah, that's a big bottle. 4 liters. It was $14.98 at Walmart. It's produced in California by E&J Gallo. It was not bought out by E&J Gallo. In fact, the Carlo Rossi line of wine was created by Ernest and Julio Gallo in 1975, but actually goes further in history than that. Let's see. We may do an examination tomorrow night on the main channel, assuming people can get the wine. They think they can get it, but then, oh, and I got to remember to call Crescent Crown today. They think they can get it, but they may not be able to. Served chilled, was well chilled, 8.5% alcohol by volume, 4 liters. We'll look at it for a little bit here. Put that back in the fridge. Now, this is the anti-war channel, anti-war. Talk a little bit about the situation in Syria. The United States President Trump announced late in 2018 that he planned to immediately start removing U.S. troops from Syria, because under Obama, the United States basically invaded Syria, sent troops into their country without the government's permission. That would be an invasion. Like in 1940, Germany sent troops into Belgium without the country's permission. Now, the Germans said, well, this is due to military necessity. The United States said under Obama, this is due to military and security reasons. Still an invasion. You can always frame it however you want. Then there was this attack yesterday, January 16th, 2019, on a restaurant with American troops in it. ISIS claimed to do the attack. And now the neocons, the neoconservatives in the Trump administration and the Democratic Party, the war parties, essentially, are saying, oh, see, that's the reason we have to stay. We have to stay until they're defeated and stop all the terrorists. Well, of course, they'll always stay forever, because they'll always find an excuse for troops to stay in these countries, occupying these countries in perpetuity. So we just want to end that up. I'm going to put that to rest but for now. But just saying, Trump is being the anti-war, non-interventionist, he leans that way. He's wanting to pull him out. And then the hawks in his administration, who do not have his best interests at heart, saying, oh, keep him in, keep him in. All right, so we'll see how that pans out. Sort of like a struggle of ideology there in that administration. Back to this. You can see that it's a rose color, and almost an orange rose color. It's a strange color. It's hard to really determine what it is. It's in the red spectrum, the red range somewhere, but it's hard to pin down what that color is. You may know more than me. The Carlo Rossi website says, White Zinfandel makes for parties and picnics with its well-balanced blend of strawberry and watermelon flavors. You get that from grapes. It goes best with simple dishes like spinach salads. That sounds good. I ate a spinach salad today, and crab cakes. That really sounds good. And this suggested recipe is spinach dipper, and then they have a recipe on there. Then they give you a where to buy, a locator to. It's always good to call the store. I think they even have a disclaimer on there. It says, we relying on the best information of the distributor, and so please call the store before you go, or you might be driving over there for nothing. Zinfandel has been called the workhorse of grapes and produces everything from light blush to dark spicy reds. The Carlo Rossi story. This website needs to be updated. It says 40 years since 1975. Well, that's 44 years now. Every year, the Central Valley of California provides harvests of delicious grapes. Over time, the characteristics of those grapes cause a wine style to evolve from year to year. However, since day one, Carlo has served his wine in a sturdy glass jug. Well, Carlo's not serving any wine anymore because Carlo Rossi died years ago in his 90s. And then they talk about why use a jug. Talk about Carlo Rossi. Show some of his old commercials. And then they talk about how 1975, it really wasn't the first year for Carlo Rossi. It says in 1962, Carlo Rossi Red Mountain wines were introduced and quickly became one of the winery's top sellers. So it's really 1962. So really 59 years into it. By the time 1975 rolled around, Red Mountain was removed, but it is still in use on some labels. So it's no longer called Red Mountain, but yet it's still called Red Mountain. And then so they kind of rebranded it as a line of wine. But so introduced in 1975, but actually in 1962. So it's kind of comical, the website. Let's see what Wikipedia says about white Zinfandel. Often abbreviated as white Zin, is dry to sweet. Dry to sweet, could be dry all the way to sweet. Pink colored rosé, okay. Made from white Zinfandel wine grape, which would otherwise produce a bold and spicy red wine. White Zinfandel is not a grape variety, but a method of processing Zinfandel grapes. 10% of all wine sold back in 2006, that might have changed, making it the third most popular varietal in the U.S. Zinfandel was first made into a rosé in 1869 by El Pinal Winery in Lodi, California. In the 1970s, Sutter Home Winery, you've heard of Sutter Home, was a producer of premium Zinfandel red wine in the Napa Valley. To increase concentration in their wines, they used the saignée technique to bleed off some of the grape juice before fermentation to increase the impact of compounds in the skins in the remaining wine. I should buy some Sutter Home before I branch off into Franzia, but I think I'm going to do Franzia. The excess juice was separately fermented into a dry, almost white wine that Sutter Home called white Zinfandel. So it's the excess juice. In 75, Sutter Home's white Zinfandel experienced a stuck fermentation, a problem that occurs when the yeast dies out before consuming all the sugar. This problem juice was set aside. Some weeks later, the winemaker, Steve Bertolucci, tasted it and preferred this accidental result, which was a sweet pink wine. This is the style that became popular and today is known as white Zinfandel, but in the early days, it was known as Cabernet Blanc. Sutter Home realized they could sell far more white Zinfandel than anything they produced to date and gradually became a successful producer of inexpensive wines. They remain one of the biggest producers of the wine with annual shipments over 4 million cases. And then now they grow grapes specifically for the use in white Zinfandel. So now it's like a big deal, okay? So from an accident, and now 44 years later, it's a desired product. Some people look down on white Zinfandel. I'm indifferent to it. I mean, it tastes fine to me. It's kind of on the bland side. We'll give you a little nose on it, but it doesn't taste bad. Mild fruitiness, sweetness, and maybe like they're saying the strawberries and some acidity, you know, like from like citrus juice. Sweet strawberry grape skins, light, a little tart, medium, dry finish, really. It's not overly sweet. It's a very easygoing product. I don't know what the big, I don't know why there is such an uproar about when I hear, I guess you call them wine snobs saying, oh, white Zinfandel. I'm so embarrassed if I drink wine with people and they ask for that. Um, my attitude, and I can only speak for myself. My attitude would be, if they like drinking it, let them drink it. I'm always trying to encourage people to drink craft beers and more specialized beers, not even craft beers, maybe just like a what's it called? George Killian's Irish Red, which to a Bud Light drinker or a Coors or Miller Lite drinker, to them that's so exotic. But I don't have too much success. They say, oh no, So but I don't get embarrassed if I am at a barbecue and they want to drink Bud Light, Coors Light, or Miller Lite. I don't say, why are you drinking that? Or I don't get embarrassed if somebody wants to drink George Killian's Irish Red or Newcastle Brown Ale or these things, because I think the snobbery part is a detriment to good drinking, because it turns people away and they say, well, I don't want to deal with those kind of people. Johnny Neely says, good afternoon, Ron. Going to pick up my bottle later this evening. Oh, well, good hearing from you, Johnny Neely. I thought last night's examination on the main channel went very well, smooth, peaceful. So would I recommend Carlo Rossi White Zinfandel? Yes, I would. Is it my favorite Carlo Rossi wine? No, it is not. But I sure do like it. I certainly like it. And the price is nice. It's relatively low alcohol for wine and some mellow. I think the next project, since I've pretty much gone through all the Carlo Rossi wines, and I don't want to fool with the sangria, because it's not a true sangria made with real fruit. It's just fruit flavors, and I don't want to deal with flavored wines, honestly. I think I'll go with the Franzias, another old company, and it's run by the Wine Group today, which has a huge portfolio. And I would like to try out those box wines. I don't know what to make of them. I don't think I've ever had a box wine, not to my knowledge. Somebody might have given me some. I didn't know it was a box wine. But I think that box wine sells like crazy. People buy it just like crazy. It's a big seller. So yeah, I think that'll be the next one. I use wine as my juice. I used to drink juice every day, apple juice or orange juice. But I got to where I couldn't stand it for some reason. But wine seems to be a lot better version of juice. And I drink about 4 ounces a day, which seems to work out very well. So thank you for watching this video review on this alternative channel, Anti-War. And this is my overflow channel, and I'll keep doing things from time to time. Johnny Neely says, William Kepley came on after everyone left, and we chatted for a while. It's good to see him back in action. Oh, I'm glad he jumped on. I hope he's doing well. I invited him to the hangout, but I guess he didn't make it. Well, obviously he didn't make it. He wasn't on. Well, it's good to see him. He's doing the postings on Rock and Roll Club. So hopefully he'll get back into the regular run of things if he's able. All right. Well, thanks, folks. And I'll talk to you later.